Forecast is actually calling for the rain to disappear around 9 o'clock, 9:30. So it's a smart choice to make Duke have to handle the football to begin this game tonight. We are set to get underway. Demon Deacons at 7-3, 3-3 in the conference. Duke is really in the throes of a losing skid, 4 in a row, 2-4 in the ACC. Phil Johnson will try and bring that out. He has nowhere to go on that right side. And take a look at that radar, and it is going to get better. The forecast is calling for some clearing later on tonight. But around the Winston-Salem area, I mean, nothing but fog and rain and cold temperatures, which have been plummeting throughout the day. And here comes Quentin Harris, senior quarterback out of Wilton, Connecticut. He had a rough one last week against Syracuse, Tim. 19 for 36, just 157 yards.
And he needs to play better and do a better job protecting the football.
And immediately airs that one out into the bench, into the sideline of Wake Forest.
And you see him there talking right away. Miscommunication outside with Aaron Young, the wide receiver. Quentin communicating to him immediately, saying, hey, listen, I expected you to be running down the field. That's not how Duke wants to get started.
Duke started the season in impressive fashion. At one point they were 3-1. They've dropped 5 out of their last 6 games. Deion Jackson going to try to run it, staying on his feet. Ja'Cory Johns there to say hello for the first tackle of the ball game. Now it is the Big Four championship on the line tonight, made up of Wake Forest, Duke, North Carolina, and NC State. Wake trying to take it for the first time since 07, having already knocked off North Carolina and the Wolfpack. 3rd down and 10 for Harris. Out of the shotgun. We'll throw that one short. He hits his tight end Gray, who certainly is his favorite target. That's his 43rd catch of the year.
Really not how Duke wants to start. You've been an offense that's been struggling. 3 and outs have plagued you. You have a miscommunication on 1st down. You have a run for no gain on 2nd down. And then on 3rd and 10, you end up completing a pass for 5 yards. And so I just think that something needs to change, whether it's the rhythm of their offense, whether it's getting into some of the option stuff they like to do. They've got to do something to change it up to get the offense to just stay on the field longer. 3 and out.
Parker back there at the 10-yard line to punt. Very good punter, but not a good punt. Hit that one short, and that's going to go bouncing out of bounds. So Wake Forest and an offense that can really get rolling behind their quarterback, Jamie Newman. Now, Newman also had a very rough day last weekend against Clemson. Many can say that, of course, but just 6 for 14, 41 yards.
Yeah, it was a horrible performance by the entire group, obviously overmatched by Clemson. Outside of that game, he's been outstanding, and so good opportunity to see how he responds after a tough outing.
An unusual offense that they run as well. He's going to keep that, stay on his feet. Finally taken down by Marquise Waters. But a solid gain. He gets 9 yards on the first effort.
Yeah, and you said it. It's a little bit unique. This is basically, quarterback power with an extra blocker. As you see, Cade Carney, who he faked the football to, is the lead blocker.
Carney trying to bounce outside, getting across the 50-yard line. And stopped by Singleton, but he's going to pick up the first down. It is such an unusual look on the offense for Wake Forest, and nobody else in the country is doing this, are they?
No, and I think you need to give credit to Wayne Ruggiero and Dave Clawson, Warren Ruggiero and Dave Clawson, the head coach and offensive coordinator. They've developed something that nobody else is doing, Dave, and I think college football has been around 150 years. Got to give credit to the creativity of what these guys are doing.
And we're trying to dance on that left side. Picks up 2 yards.
Just to continue with what they're doing offensively, you think about Warren Ruggiero. He basically has had 20 years of developing this offense, and he's been with Dave Clawson for a while. And you normally see people copying other teams around the league, but really what Wake Forest is doing is completely unique, brand new, and it's their own creation. And that doesn't typically happen. And I think when you look at the success that Dave Clawson has had here, a lot of it has to do with the uniqueness of their offense to help maximize the talent that they get.
Clawson's team is so clean, too. Wake Forest is the 2nd least penalized team in the nation. Only 38 times over their last 10 games. And bouncing outside, the quarterback will get that first down. Jamie Newman, so dangerous, finally taken down by Singleton, but a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, and this is part of that uniqueness of the offense. You look at what happens here is the defense thinks that Cade Carney has the football. I mean, basically what happens is Hayward's confused, doesn't realize that Jamie Newman is the ball carrier because of that long mesh point and quarterback follow.
Carney, he's taken down by Waters, his second tackle. Did not get an inch on that play. So we'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Wake. Meeting Duke for the 100th time in their history. The series began in 1889. Now he has yet to throw the football. Every play has been a run. This one will be 2. Looking to scoot inside, but he is bottled up by McSwain. Did you have a difficult time throwing the football in wet weather?
I was not a good wet ball thrower. We've seen Jamie Newman play in wet conditions, and it doesn't seem like it affects him. Big, strong hands, and good throw of the football in all conditions.
3rd down 7 on the first Demon Deacon drive of the night. Newman to keep it again, but he is tripped up right there at the 30-yard line, stopped by Kwanzaa. Kobe Kwanzaa, top tackler for the Duke Blue Devils. That was his 89th of the year. He also leads Duke in tackles for loss. In fact, one of the best in the conference in that.
Yeah, he's been an outstanding player. The coaches love coaching him because of his toughness and kind of waited his opportunity to play and played through some injuries this year, and he's well respected on that Duke defense.
How about this now? 4th down and 7. They're going to go for it. 4th and 7 for Newman. See if he puts it in the air here. Looking to do that. Looking toward that sideline. He fires that one off of Hinton's hands and incomplete. Good quarterback pressure on that play.
Not a ton of fans here. He challenged his team on Friday to bring their own energy. He said this is a grit game. Whoever can grind this one out will prevail, guys. I'm watching for the BYOJ on both sidelines, obviously.
We're watching. Bring your own umbrella really is the way it goes tonight. Calhoun trying the right side. Jalen Calhoun, one of the wide receivers, will certainly be counted on tonight. Kobe Davis with the stop, 3-yard pickup there.
Yeah, and the juice that Duke's offense now is bringing is the tempo. That's what we talked about already at the line of scrimmage, getting ready to snap the football.
Harris with a handoff for Jackson. And a big scrum there around Deion Jackson. And of course, the head coach underneath the hood there, David Cutcliffe. Won 3 bowl games last 4 years. When he left Tennessee to take the Duke job, he left the offensive coordinator position to Dave Clawson. He's trying to beat tonight as a matchup of head coaches. Harris throws over the middle to hit the tight end Gray. It was one busy tight end. He is number 1 in the ACC in catches. Going to be very, very close here. And he is a little bit nicked up. Gray down and in some pain.
That is bad news. That's bad news for the Duke offense. He's a tremendous player for them all season long.
We'll take the break. It'll be 15, decided by 1 possession. Going to go for it here on 4th and 1, and mishandled. The ball loose. Looked like Wake Forest came up with it. Chase Jones pouncing on that. He recovers the fumble, and the Demon Deacons in business after the turnover.
And I don't think Quentin Harris, he just doesn't catch the snap. I mean, the ball a little bit off to his right, but got to be able to handle it. And I said at the beginning, you know, these wet conditions, you mentioned it, Dave, it really is coming down. You need to secure the football. Don't disagree with the idea of going for it on 4th and really short there. Need to secure the snap.
Whether or not, turnovers have been a giant issue for Duke.
And slow starts as well. But yes, you're exactly right. You think about the start of the Pittsburgh game, the start of the Virginia game, and start of the Notre Dame game, all of them turning the football over.
It's been a giant issue for the Duke Blue Devils. On a carry, here's Carney. Tied up by Kwanzaa. And a gain of 3 yards on that carry by Cade Carney. They are 5-1 when he rushes for 100 yards or more. Very, very tough, rugged runner. He'll get the carry again, left side this time. Nothing doing. Push back. And a 0-0 game here in the first. Derek Tangelo will get credit for that one.
You think about 10 of the first 11 plays here for Wake Forest have been runs. The only pass coming on a 3rd and long, and would expect one here as well on 3rd and 7.
In the driving rain, Newman. Oh, down he goes. He took a nasty hit. Dimukeji was all over him and took him down.
Yeah, Dimukeji's coming off the edge here, and he just wins right away. And you know, Jamie Newman, because he's looking to his left, doesn't feel it, and he's fortunate that he didn't lose the football, because a lot of times you don't see that defender coming. He swipes down at the ball and knocks it out. But nice little pass rush, good get off on the snap by Dimukeji.
Junior from Baltimore just wiped out the quarterback. So DiMaggio, the punter, coming on. Punted often against Clemson. He also set an ACC record, averaging about 58 yards per punt.
You know, I always thought in these conditions that, you know, quarterbacks hated these conditions, but long snappers hated it as well. They just stand on the sideline, and, you know, plenty of time elapses while you're over there, and obviously you can warm up a little bit, but, you know, you get one chance, you know, to fire one back to a punter standing 15 yards behind you. It's a difficult task in these conditions.
An intentional delay here. 6:51 to go here in the first. In a scoreless game. When you look at the Duke Blue Devils right now, Tim, they look like an example of a team.
Duke is challenging the ruling on the field that the quarterback was down before the ball came out.
So back to that previous play on the sack. And the Blue Devils challenging that. So this play is under review.
It was hard to see it there. It's a little bit what I was talking about. Jamie Newman looking to his left, and you see the swipe of the ball. That is loose.
The ball is loose now. Was there a clear recovery on the play?
Well, and that's going to be the most important thing here, because I think it's pretty clear there that that ball is out. And you see all the Duke players there, and that's a clear recovery.
Yeah.
By Rice.
That was Taj Rice, sophomore from Louisville. Louisville with an impressive victory over Syracuse right before our game tonight. Once again pushing the score into the 50s.
So it seems to me that that ball is starting to be jarred loose. Would you? I mean, you
I would agree
with that. I mean,
yep.
That ball is moving. I don't think Newman is controlling at that point. You know, and the official that is ruling him down there, you see him, you know, ruling down. Now he's got a view of Jamie Newman's back, and obviously that ball was kind of in front of Jamie's body.
The ruling on the field was ball carrier down.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Okay.
The delay of game foul has been declined, and Duke is charged with their first time out of the half.
So the Blue Devils lose a timeout.
That surprises me. I feel like that ball is starting to come loose prior to his, you know, him being down, and, you know, probably a 30-yard swing or more of field position. A good challenge by David Cookville.
Miles Hupsick back at the 10-yard line. So Maggio with the punt here for Wake Forest. No snap, but he gets that one off and hangs that one high toward the end zone. We will take the break. 6:44 to go, scoreless here in the first.
Virginia Tech may give him a lunch pail and say, you can't retire.
Harris keeping that one on the carry on first down to pick up 2 yards. Stopped by Jaquez Williams. And both teams off to a very choppy start offensively. Noah Gray, who took a knock a few minutes ago, is back in there at the tight end for the Blue Devils. They need him completely healthy if they're going to win the football game tonight. Now looking for the pass, and intended for Jake Bobo, but that one off the hands and incomplete.
And your receivers need to make plays for you. When you have a quarterback who's struggling, and Quentin Harris is struggling, and he puts that ball exactly where it needs to be, Jake Bobo needs to secure the catch. These are tough conditions to throw the football. When a quarterback throws one right into the frame of your body, you need to make the play.
3rd down 8 for Duke. Hand off Jackson. A little bit of room to maneuver up the middle before he was stopped by Basham. And he'll gain 5. Both teams staying on the ground as you would expect here, given these conditions, at least at the outset. And on 4th down, here comes the punting unit.
You know, an interesting decision there on 3rd down by David Cutcliffe. I think just understanding how this game is going, these conditions, to run the ball on 3rd and long, and continue to trust your defense, who's done a pretty good job against this Wake offense so far.
Hinton back at the 33-yard line. We talked about what an important receiver he's going to be. Booming punt to drive him back. He's going to try to run it from the 11-yard line, and they cover him very nicely. We talked about the race for the Orange Bowl now, and a bid going to the team with the highest rank. Virginia 8-3 now. Virginia Tech at 8-3. Wake Forest trying to get there with a win tonight.
Yeah, and so you think about the Coastal next Friday. It would come down between that Virginia Tech game, and you think about at that point, one of those teams is going to be ranked, probably going to play Clemson in the college football playoff. And if that is a lopsided ordeal, then I think Wake, if they can get to 9 wins, which is certainly a possibility, they could be in the mix for that. So a lot up in the air, and it would be a huge accomplishment to be playing in the Orange Bowl for any of those teams.
And by the way, Virginia has lost 15 in a row to Virginia Tech going into that giant game. No room to run on that left side for Kenny Walker.
And so it's a bit of a beauty contest, but with that being said, you just look at the ability to get to 9 wins. And in college football, that's hard to do. And so it's a credit to the programs, especially the way some of them started.
Newman looking for the middle. No seam there as he is bottled up. Does get a bit of a gain of 3 yards. 3rd down and 7. Wake Forest also playing their 300th all-time game here at BB&T Field, which opened in 1968. And doing that on senior night in front of a very small but hearty gathering. Newman looks to throw on the pump. Drills that one, and that's complete. Catch by Hinton. He'll pick up the 1st down before Blackwell stops him. Gain of 13.
It's a really good job of Jamie Newman here. Benzinger's right tackle is going to get beat inside. Look at the little reset, and then just able to get the ball out quickly as you're under pressure, and a good throw into the body of your receiver. That's good quarterback play.
Walker busting a couple of tackles, still up and down finally. A very powerful run to gain 9 yards. This tackle there by Dylan Singleton really opened it up.
Kenneth Walker, the true freshman, I think a really talented player, and he's getting a lot of valuable snaps this year. And, maybe has the most speed out of any of their runners.
Injury timeout.
Injury timeout with 3:38 to go in the 1st quarter. And we expect a number of these Wake Forest freshmen to show up in a big way tonight. No score in the 1st. Here at Winston-Salem. I guess the nasty weather brings them out here in the first 3:38 to go.
You think they're warm? The aliens? Do they get cold?
Anybody is remotely warm in this one. Maybe Kenneth Walker is getting a lot of carries. He'll try to dance outside and pick up some yardage here. Still on his feet, breaking free again. Boy, he is very slippery. Pushed out by McSwain, but he picks up 9.
Very slippery, is right. Does a good job of just staying with it. Look at his quarterback, Jamie Newman, rally to get a little block for him. And, the Duke defender's just not wrapping up.
And there'll never be a time where a quarterback blocks where you are not going to notice that. And that's a 1st down gain. Tripped up by Singleton, but that's 11 for Walker.
And Dave, you're right. Every time a quarterback gets a block, I will make sure I point it out. Unfortunately, we may see it quite a bit from Jamie Newman.
Again, it's Walker staying up. Tough to take down on that first hit. Eventually, Waters with the tackle. And coming down the home stretch of the first, the freshman from Arlington, Tennessee. We mentioned this before the timeout that Dave Clawson's probably going to play some guys who have not played very much this year. Walker is one of those guys as he will dive ahead. And another nice gain. And that will move the chains on a 9-yard pickup.
And Wake Forest's pace and tempo is killing Duke right now. Not getting lined up correctly. And I think David Cutcliffe has seen enough, basically, and said, I need to give my defense a break.
Timeout. Duke. Second charge of the half.
Now Duke must win these last 2 games to become bowl eligible. Next week facing a hot Miami team in Durham, but he has his hands full thinking about a lot of other things right now.
He most certainly does. And I think this was a good timeout right here, by the way. You think about what Wake Forest is doing. They're basically running it right down your throat. Your team is not, tackling well. And the speed of Wake Forest offense, how quickly they're up at the line of scrimmage, I think has already started to cause a little bit of confusion for Duke. Yeah, guys late getting in, getting lined up defensively. And it's almost like crying uncle, almost like a little mercy rule on the drive here. Like, hey, I'm calling a timeout to stop the bleeding.
The Duke team that has missed a lot of their stated goals for 2019, so maybe a bit lost as far as what to play for at this point. Cade Carney back in there at the running back. Very punishing, but Newman will keep. And he is met by Gagnon, who will take him down. And the clock running, coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first. And nobody's put any points on the board just yet on a rainy, cold night.
And with the way that Wake's been running the football, I would expect McArary, the defensive coordinator for Duke, to just start bringing people, get guys involved in the run game, move people down the box, and basically dare Wake Forest in these conditions. And with your 2 top wide receivers out, the big guys on the outside, to throw the football.
Carney gets to the 25. 3rd down and 7 for the Demon Deacons, trying to pick up their 8th victory of the season here tonight, trying to do it at home. Newman to throw, looking over the center, short pass, and that one's complete. Caught by Stephen Claude. What a story about him today in the Winston-Salem Journal by Connor O'Neill on Claude, who incredibly was essentially born without a stomach. His doctors had to basically build one for him. He managed to survive 4 major operations before his first birthday. Very lucky to be alive.
And Lucky was his nickname growing up because of that. And a remarkable story, and a 5th-year senior getting an opportunity because of the injuries at wide receiver. Nice catch there on 3rd down.
Skiba going to try one now through the rain from 38 yards. Gets this one in the air. That one is up. And that one is good. That is 29 in a row for him now. That's the ACC record. He's 1 away from tying the NCAA record. That was set by Washington's Chuck Nelson in 1982 of 30 in a row. Really incredible. And we've been here in some bad conditions and seen him. Been a tremendous kicker for Wake Forest this season. Also, nice hold there by Maggios. The snap was a little bit outside, to the right there. And it's pretty good job of coming away with points on that drive. And Nick Skiba. So Wake Forest with a 3-0 lead. Now, we have found the most adorable fan a couple of times that we have been here. This happens to be Nick Skiba's little sister. This was back when we were here on October 12th. We got such a kick out of it. Look at the ferocity. I mean, and here, this is making sense now that I know that that's Nick's little sister, because she was doing that after a kickoff went back for a touchdown. Right. She was mad at the kickoff team. I loved Emery's. It's the 2 different versions, though, The one you don't want to mess with And then very sweet with a great smile there, just enjoying the night. But boy, you can tell she's a competitor.
The smile on her face there.
Yeah.
Good for you, Emery. And you know what? When your big brother is kicking field goals like Nick is, you should be happy.
Nick, a sophomore from South Carolina, and he has been perfect for a long, long time. Phil Johnson finding a seam. He's off to the races, across the 40, and there he goes. All the way down the sideline for the Duke Blue Devils, 97 yards. Phil Johnson shot out of a cannon.
And Phil Johnson missed last week, was banged up. He's been a good return man for Duke, and when your offense is struggling, how about that?
Well, that'll wake you up.
And I tell you, Emery can't be happy with that.
Not at all. But Damon Phil Johnson certainly is. Speedy sophomore from Pensacola, Florida, with an electrifying run back on the kick to put Duke on the scoreboard here tonight. I thought it might be kind of a lazy end of the first quarter. Not so much after that play. And the extra point is good to put Duke in front 7-3.
This was really well blocked. Kicked much like the opening kick was, but you see everybody covered up in all types of running room, and then just too much speed by Phil Johnson. That's really well done by the return team, as Zach Murphy's the kicker there, can't get there. And Phil Johnson able to hit it full speed. And, you know, we mentioned, Dave Clawson said it's a BYOJ game, bring your own juice. And, you know, the offense struggling for Duke. Dave Cutcliffe saying his team needs to bring some energy and effort, and sometimes a spark on special teams will do that.
It's been a little while since Duke returned to kickoff for a touchdown. Sean Wilson did it September of 16. That was at Notre Dame. That went for 96. This one, 97 yards to wake up the Blue Devils in a big way.
And know what your reward is for that, Dave? You know what you get to do now? Cover the kick. That's what you get to do.
Go back out there and cover a guy.
Outstanding return.
Yeah, sensational play. And it's still one of the most exciting plays in all of sports. No matter what sport you're talking about, to run one back like that. Let's see if Kendall Hinton can match it. He'll take a hit across the 22-yard line. So 20 seconds to go, first quarter. And here's a look at him hustling on the last play.
Now here's the deal. Before everyone gets on him, he's the safety on it. As the R1 on kickoff team, he's the safety, trusting his guys. Maybe not so much, but
he needed to catch his breath. So first down and 10 here. Wake Forest just punched in the face. And Newman right up the middle. He will gain 3 yards on that carry. So that will do it for the first quarter. Duke right at the very end after a scintillating 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. So Wake with the football, more pressure on the quarterback with a handoff in time. That one to Walker, but nothing there for him. No gain on the play. A very active Kobe Kwanzaa along with Trey Hornbuckle in on the tackle.
I think Wake Forest is going to have to get to some type of play action shot on first or second down, as Duke has decided just to commit everybody to stop the run on early downs.
3rd and 7. Newman checking with the sideline. Looking to throw. And now has to move out of the pocket on his feet, trying to dance outside. They get to him. Waters will tie him up after a 3-yard gain after all that running. So on 4th and 4, they'll punt. And DiMaggio out to do the honors.
This Wake offense looks different without Scotty Washington and Sage Surratt. Dave, think about all the shots that we'd see, the 50-50 balls that they would throw outside the numbers. We haven't seen any of that so far.
You're talking about two of the very best receivers in the ACC, and indeed two of the very best in college football. So about a 40-yard line. Be stopped there. A weekday mornings on ACC Network. Packer and Durham come your way, exclusively talking ACC sports. From football to field hockey, Packer and Durham, they cover it all every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on ACC Network and also on the ESPN app. Katie George there every Friday on Packer and Durham.
Usually speaking, I'm much warmer and drier on Packer and Durham in the beautiful studios on these campuses.
Beautiful, warm, comfortable studios. No rain gear required. Here's Durant on a scamper, and he lost it. The fumble is kicked across the 40 and still loose, and finally picked up. Amari Henderson. And a forced fumble by Kobe Davis. And a big celebration on the Wake Forest sideline. And another turnover here for the Duke Blue Devils.
And Kobe Davis just delivers a blow right there. Boom. That shot right there, and with the ball wet, it's a big-time hit by Kobe Davis. He's been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but that's an outstanding play defensively. And now this defense for Duke that's been on the field quite a bit, just got off the field now. That feels like a 3-and-out, the quick sudden change back out there trying to face this Wake offense.
Second turnover tonight for the Blue Devils. Put it on the ground 2 times in these wet conditions, and down goes the quarterback Newman. As they erase him, Trayvon McSwain got to him, and they lose 4 yards on the sack.
Yeah, it's coming from this side again. It ends up being Benzinger, the right tackle, who's having a hard time on Demukeji. He just wins. There's too much power to the quarterback.
Yet another running play, and Hayward with the stop on Cade Carney. So that play goes absolutely nowhere, no gain to bring up 3rd down and 14.
Injury timeout.
So an injury timeout here, 12:37 to go in the first half. Interesting, we did not see a player down. Well, we do now. Man down for Wake Forest.
Like the right.
Yep, Nathan Gilliam.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't down. He was trying to fight through it a little bit, and I think as he was limping, the officials noticed that he was in enough pain that he was going to need to come off the field.
All right, 12:37 to go in the half. Happy to have Sage Surratt downstairs with Katie.
Thanks, Dave. Sage, you had an incredible season that was sadly cut short with the injury against Virginia Tech. You've successfully had surgery. What's the last few weeks been like for you?
Last few weeks, just trying to, rest up and just try to heal my shoulder, try to get back quickly as possible. Supporting my teammates, trying to be there for them, and try to see us win some ball games.
Did you give them any words of encouragement coming into this game tonight?
I don't think they needed that. They worked hard all week. They prepared the same way they do every week. I don't think they needed that. I think they were ready to play.
For you personally, over 1,000 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns this season. Why do you feel like it was such a breakout year for you?
I was just trying to do my job all year. Just try to execute the plays. Really credit to all the guys around me that made that possible. From the O-line, they're doing a great job protecting. To Jamie throwing great balls. To our other receivers, Scotty, he's been very talented on the outside making plays, and Kendall Hinton as well. So it wasn't just me. It was a collection of everybody.
Your older brother Chaz has certainly overcome his fair share of adversity in his time in North Carolina. Did he have any words of encouragement for you after the injury?
He was being a big brother, and telling me it was going to be all right, and that we can battle through anything together, and he was there for me.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Upsick there on the return, lost it, but he got it back. Well, you're talking about a guy who I think has had an All-America kind of a season in Sage Surratt. Had a great year.
I agree with you, Dave. I mean, just look at the numbers that he's had this season. I mean, 5 games with over 100 receiving yards. I mean, 11 touchdown catches. I think he's a complete receiver. You know, he's known as a guy that's going to go up and kind of bully you for the football at the moment of truth because he is so big and strong. But we've seen him run by people. I think he's got better quickness than people realize. Great ability to track the football. I think he's an outstanding receiver, one of the best in the conference, one of the best in the country. It's a shame this season was cut short because he's been a lot of fun to watch.
Durant shoved out of bounds there. He picked up 4 yards. Sage just named a semifinalist for the coveted Fred Biletnikoff Award. That goes to the nation's top receiver. Biletnikoff, by the way, led FSU 1 year in both catches and interceptions as a two-way player. It was a great receiver. Airing it out, Harris, and a tremendous catch. Down on the right side by Calhoun. And stopped by Greer on a 33-yard gain.
It's basically a post with a wheel combination there. As you see Calhoun go to the flat and then get up the field, and Nasir Greer in pretty good position, but that's a great throw by Quentin Harris.
First down and 10. And on the carry, it's Durant. Another look at that catch.
Yeah, and you talk about the throw, too. I mean, right on the face mask of Calhoun. And you think about these conditions, one of the things the Duke coaches have said to us every time we've seen them is that Quentin Harris is a great deep ball thrower, very accurate.
Harris trying to get them in the end zone. He'll keep trying to follow a blocker, but that play stops, and he is tied up on the play after a gain of 1 yard. And Ryan Smenda gets credit for the tackle. They'll bring up 3rd down. Duke with a touchdown on special teams on a sensational run on a kickoff return by Philyaw Johnson. But their offense has stalled mainly because of 2 turnovers. Harris throwing for the end zone. Nobody home. I guess intended for Noah Gray. Good pressure there.
What's good pressure there, Dave? It was Ryan Smenda coming on a blitz. Yep. Exactly right. And Durant just too soft in protection, and that's what forced Quentin Harris to have to rush the throw a little bit.
So A.J. Reed on for the kick. This would be a 30-yard attempt. The only ACC kicker with 3 or more kicks of 49 or more. So for him, a chip shot. And he will boot this one good. Duke leads at 10. And you have to be tonight, and you have to come prepared with the rain gear, the umbrellas, and anything you can do to stay as comfortable as possible, at least until it stops. And they expect that to be sometime after 9 o'clock from what we're told.
Let's be honest, when it stops, you're at that point just still soaking wet and cold. Let's be honest.
I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. At that juncture, 10:15 to go here in the first half. And Hinton back to receive the kick. He's going to scoot through the line across the 30-yard line. And look at the key injuries Wake Forest over the last 4 or 5 weeks that they have been dealing with. We've already talked to Sage Surratt, one of the great receivers in the ACC, but so too is Scotty Washington.
I think Strnad and Surratt, they're 2 best players. So they haven't really been a widely injured team. I think they're relatively healthy outside of the 4 star players that you're looking at. And Dave Clawson said basically 4 out of the last, 4 of our top 10 players, you could probably say. And, you know, it's been tough, and other guys need to step up.
You know, depth was already going to be an issue at the top of the season, intended for Hinton, but overthrown and incomplete. Good quarterback pressure there by Kwanzaa, who's having a really fine first half.
He really is, and the pass protection's been a bit of an issue, but I'm not sure Kendall Hinton picked up that football, kind of adjusted to it awkwardly, and it was a bit overthrown, but I think maybe it was a shot had he seen the ball earlier and tracked it better.
Kwanzaa, by the way, already with 7 tackles in this game. Here's Newman finding some room on that left side, and he'll pick up a first down. A tough run by the quarterback. Gain of 12 for Jamie Newman. ACC leader in total offense per game, nearly 300 yards per game for him, both running and passing. Walker this time getting a lot of action here in the first half, and it's paying off.
And the pace is paying off as well because they are getting so much movement up front.
2nd down 6. Newman jumping inside, and he stopped. Gain of 3. We'll talk about pace now. Wake Forest 79.4 plays per game, 3rd most in FBS.
And I think at this pace, we're going to see them into the 90s. They keep going like this.
They also do a really good job of taking care of the football. They almost never fumble, for example. That's a very tough catch on the sideline here by Stephen Claude.
No, I think Claude eventually catches. Doesn't catch it the first time, but as he gets it there, I think that might be a catch. I think his toe hits the ground again when he catches it the second time. Doesn't catch it initially, but it secures it there. I think on that previous angle, it looked like there was a shot that his toe, and the officials should look at this.
And they will.
The previous play, an incomplete pass, is under further review.
Stephen Claude got a chance that he maybe was able to reel this one in before heading out of bounds.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 44.
All right, first down, they have reversed that
And
call.
the clock will start on my signal.
It is a completion. Take another look.
I think it's the right decision to overturn it. See the catch there. I think his right toe was on the ground. I think his left toe actually drags a little bit after that as well. Nice job of concentration by Stephen Claude.
So Wake picks up the first down, and on the move, trailing 10-3. Rolling right, Newman. He'll throw, and a bobble on that one, and nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Broken up by guess who? Kobe Kwanzaa.
There's a lot going on here. It's a good throw by Jamie Newman. They just run a little move the pocket play, and Kenneth Walker needs to catch that. It's right on him, and then Kobe Kwanzaa, who's dealt with 2 broken thumbs this year, is not able to secure the football.
That's true. 2 broken thumbs. So he catches no break on that one. On the carry, it's Kenneth Walker. For more on Kwanzaa, let's toss it down to Katie.
Well, guys, he says the silver lining is the fact that it's actually made him a better defender not being able to use those thumbs. Kwanzaa says he can no longer rely on arm tackling by grabbing opponents' jerseys. Instead, he has to take that extra step and put his body on a guy, which is more efficient in getting guys to the ground, just not maybe as efficient in trying to intercept the ball.
Certainly not on that occasion. Here's the run, though. The quarterback, Newman, heading for the end zone. He scampers in for the touchdown from 42 yards. Dylan Singleton missed a tackle, and that really cost the Duke Blue Devils.
We said at the beginning, he's one of the most exciting players in college football at the quarterback position. Been a tremendous passer, but as a runner too, this is a design run. Basically quarterback power game. Pulling the right guard and getting Jamie Newman in space, and then enough strength to break a tackle, find your way into the end zone.
Skiba on for the point after, looking to tie this one up at 8:14 to go in the second quarter. And that is good. And Newman with an electrifying run himself.
Well, basically, you're going to get power football. You're going to get a kick-out block there, and what that is going to do is going to create a huge hole for Jamie Newman to run through. And you see Walker get to the second level, and then there's the stiff arm by Jamie Newman there. And then enough speed, and then great blocking on the perimeter by Waydell Jones, about 25, 30 yards down the field. That's a good job at the point of attack. You think about so much of what Wake Forest does offensively is that zone blocking scheme. Well, that's a power blocking scheme. Pulling the right guard, leading up through there. And then good job of everybody rallying for their quarterback down the field.
Well, there's a number of different ways that he can beat you, but 28 touchdowns he's responsible for, 3rd most in the ACC. And his 6th rushing touchdown here tonight, 42-yard scamper. That ties the game 10-10. Obviously, it is a big game for both teams, but in particular for Wake Forest as they look to pick up their 8th win of the season. And with eyes on a possible Orange Bowl, they cannot afford any kind of a slip up along the way. Phil Johnson back for the kick return. He's already brought one back, and that one's going to be bobbled by Jackson and eventually falls on that, so no return at all by Javon Jackson.
You see the decision by Wake Forest to kick it away from Phil Johnson. You think back to the Louisville game, Dave, that we saw where, you know, special teams really were probably the difference in that football game for Wake Forest. And so I think Dave Clawson basically saying, I'm not going to let that happen again. We're going to kick away from your better returner.
So Quentin Harris to take over the offense again on the fake. He gets across the 20-yard line. Harris, the senior at 6'1", about 200 pounds. Big problem for Quentin this season has been the picks. He's been intercepted 10 times.
Yeah, and fumbles have been a part of that as well. And you know, remember, he's a first-year starter. Even though he's a fifth-year senior, first-year starter. And then when things like this happen, you have a screen set up beautifully that's probably going to pop. Deion Jackson just doesn't secure the catch.
Flag on the play. So holding. 7:48 left in the half.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on the guard on the left side, Maurice McIntyre. So the Blue Devils back up, a 10-10 game. And Harris standing at the 5-yard line in the shotgun. And he'll dive up near the 15. And tied up by Chase Monroe. He'll pick up 5. Well, they're 0 for 4 attempt on 3rd down.
And then the average distance to gain is the problem. 8.5 yards. Average distance to gain on 3rd down is nearly impossible. I mean, let's talk about playing uphill. And now you find yourself in a 3rd and 11.
Harris had a very difficult time throwing the football last week, and it's been the case again so far tonight. And this one, nice catch made on a play by Gray, and it turned back around his right side. It picks up 11.
It's a nice catch, but if it's an accurate throw, then it's a 1st down. And because it's not an accurate throw, it's, you know, it's a great adjustment by Noah Gray, but he can't stay on his feet, and now Duke's forced to punt.
So Austin Parker on to punt here. Hinton back at the 35. Opportunity here for Wake to get some great field position in a 10-10 game. And a good punt here to drive back Hinton inside the 20-yard line, and down he goes. So 6:21 to go in the first half. We are tied up 10-10. We're tied up 10-10. Phil Johnson, an electrifying 97-yard kickoff return for touchdown for Duke. Jamie Newman, 102 total yards already, just rushed for a touchdown for Wake from 42 yards. He'll take the snap. Kind of negotiate right into the center of the line, stopped by Marquise Waters after a gain of 2.
And you can see it there, using the quarterback as the ball carrier, but everybody for Duke kind of in the box, if you will, trying to stop the run. Man-to-man coverage on the perimeter. Basically, Matt Guerrieri, you know, daring Wake Forest to try some of these receivers on the perimeter.
Short toss complete to Funthal, the tight end, and a 1st down. As they move the sticks, 11-yard pickup there for the tight end, who caught 3 touchdown passes in one game against NC State. His 4th of the year, but 3 came in one contest against the Wolfpack. Cade Carney back in as the running back with Newman. Will look to throw, has some time in the pocket, And throwing long, intended for Hinton. He makes the catch on a back pedal. Beating Josh Blackwell on that grab. Gain of 36.
It's a great adjustment by Hinton. You see the little switch release, the stutter inside on Blackwell, and then that leaves room for Jamie Newman to put the football up, and then a great job of going up and trying to get it as high as you can by Kendall Hinton.
Hinton, the fifth-year man, former quarterback. And now a dangerous wide receiver. Flag here. 5:05 to go in the half.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And you think about Kendall Hinton, you said the former quarterback, who Katie told the story earlier, that he was named the starting quarterback a year ago, then moved to wide receiver, and really has done a tremendous job. You know, Sage Surratt, because he's catching all the touchdowns, gotten so much, you know, of the publicity, but playing in the slot, Kendall Hinton has been perfect for this Wake Forest offense.
In the last several weeks, he has really stepped it up, particularly with those big injuries to the wide receivers. Carney finding a hole across the 30.
When you think about guys that were formerly high school quarterbacks, Julian Edelman obviously threw a touchdown pass last weekend on a trick play. Randall Cobb, actually the guy that was the comparison Dave Clawson gave us for Kendall Hinton in terms of ability, you know, a guy that moved from quarterback to wide receiver, could play in the slot, great feel, and you know, I think there's an NFL future for Kendall Hinton, as does Dave Clawson. And so that move, you know, seemingly really going to pay off.
Injury timeout. Derek Tangelo down the left. All right, back at Winston-Salem. We're in a 10-10 tie, 4:07 to go in the second quarter. Tim Hasselbeck, Dave O'Brien, and Katie George with you. The rain has let up and may be done for the night. As Carney flares off to the left as a receiver, Newman straight up the gut. Boy, he is a very hard-nosed runner and tough to bring down on that first hit.
You said it, Dave, 230 pounds, and they empty out the backfield and basically just go right at Duke, and Jamie Newman pouring it up in there as if he's a fullback.
Picks up a first down and hard-earned. 1st and 10. Carney dancing to his left and stopped. He dives in. Hayward gets credit for the tackle. They're into the red zone. A pickup of 2. Carney, another guy who can punish you. All by himself. Newman will air it out, and that's going to be complete to Hinton. Looking for a block, and he is finally bottled up by the Duke Blue Devils. And that will gain 2 yards.
Duke's fortunate that wasn't a bigger play because they didn't line up correctly. They basically had a quad set, 4 guys out to the right, and you know, Cade Carney, I think, gets confused on who to block and kind of contributes to getting in the way, and that could have been a lot worse for Duke.
Both Hinton and Claude, the wideouts to the right side. Carney in the backfield with Newman. Out of the shotgun. Looking to throw, and off the hands of his receiver Hinton, who was covered by Singleton.
And I think it's Dimakaji from the right side on Benzinger once again, affecting this throw. I think Jamie Newman alters the way he's throwing that football, feeling the pressure of Dimakaji, because Hinton ends up winning on the route. If that ball is outside rather than forcing him back inside there, it's probably a completion. And I will tell you, one of the matchups inside this game right now is Dimakaji is wearing out Jake Benzinger, the right tackle.
Well, here comes Nick Skiba with a chance to tie an NCAA record of 30 consecutive makes from 34 yards. It is up, and that is good. So he's done it from 34 yards. The sophomore from South Carolina. He has tied the NCAA record set by Chuck Nelson in 1982 of 30 in a row. So he's been money.
He's been absolutely money, and it's hard to do. You think about that, 30 in a row. And you also think about some of these close games that Wake Forest has been in this season. You know, a lot of times it will come down to your kicker making the extra points, making field goals. Nick Skiba certainly doing his part for the Demon Deacons.
So he has put Wake Forest in front 13-10 with 2.5 minutes to go here. Oh, starting to dry up. At long last, it's done nothing but rain virtually all day long here in Winston-Salem. And virtually every game that I tuned into today, certainly in the South, it was raining every single place.
I think you're right about that. I think the only sunny games I saw were in California. And look, I think, you know, the teams tonight, you know, have kind of had to adjust to it. You look at how much Wake Forest has run the football. I think the conditions have been part of that. You look at the inability to protect the football and take care of it for Duke. That's been an issue as well.
Again, they stay away from Phil Johnson, and a fair catch here for Jackson. So they wanted nothing to do with him this time. 2:35 left in the second quarter. Now look at this. You look at the ball control here for Wake Forest. And how are they only up by 3?
You know, it was a couple of those stops early. You know, you think about the going forward on 4th down for Wake Forest, and those early stops have kept them in it, and then a score on special teams. I mean, those things will even it out for you. But tell you what, Wake is leaning on Duke the way they've been running the football. Duke's got to get something going offensively.
So that is up to Quentin Harris. No time to throw it. He's bottled up. Down he goes. Carlos Basham living up to his name and getting in on the hit. They'll lose a yard on the sack.
And Basham on a true freshman, Jacob Monk at right tackle. Basham's a really, really good all-around player. Good pass rush moves. Wins there.
Came in at 7.5 sacks. And a complete pass to Aaron Young. A quick hitter here for the Duke Blue Devils, coming up on 2 minutes to go. Young, the senior, out of Marietta, Georgia. 3rd down and 8 for Duke. Harris looking to throw. Ball comes free, knocked away as his arm went up in the air. It's still loose. Boy, that has been a devil of a problem for Harris as the quarterback for Duke.
And he just needs to play faster. They're bringing Smenda and Taylor. Taylor's the one that gets there, and there's not enough guys to pick this up. As you see, Taylor's the free runner.
Timeout. Wake Forest.
Quentin Harris just needs to play faster.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
You know, Ryan Smenda is coming on the pressure. He blows up Durant. But there's an extra blitzer, and when there's an extra blitzer, the quarterback needs to play faster. And Quentin Harris just doesn't do that.
Loose on the deck there. Looked like Duke came away with that.
It's like Noah Gray just rallying to fall on the football. But you know, when you think about this situation here, Wake Forest, you know, has all 3 of their timeouts. They call one there, but you know, an opportunity now to get the ball to start the second half. You have 1 minute and 40 left, and your offense has done a pretty good job.
4th and 16. They will punt it. Hinton will let that one bounce. It'll keep on rolling. It takes a good bounce for the Duke Blue Devils. Down to the 27-yard line. So Wake Forest with a 13-10 lead. It was a 54-yard punt. And Newman's so good on his feet.
You're exactly right, Dave. He's done an excellent job. You know, sometimes he's been the known ball carrier. Other times he's decided to keep it. Some of these run options for this Wake offense. And he just runs with so much power. You see the speed here, but it, you know, 6'3", 230 pounds. You know, Jamie Newman has been outstanding. You look at the rush yards, actually run it better than he's thrown it tonight in these conditions, and that's really been the key for this Wake offense.
Well, he's got 1:29 before halftime. Let's see if he decides to air it out, working out of the shotgun. He's going to throw incomplete, skipped it, intended for Donovan Green. The talented freshman plays first game of the season last week And they loved the kid. They called him the best high school receiver in the state of North Carolina coming into his freshman year.
He's a four-star recruit. They beat some really good schools to land him, and he's a guy that really jumps out at practice. They're excited about what he can do, and they think he's as talented physically as anybody on their roster.
That jumps out his right. He has a 39-inch vertical. Nowhere for Carney to run. He stays on his feet before Haywood brings him down. He will gain 2. Those are 2 tough yards. Wake Forest up 13-10. And trying to add to that, heading into the locker room at halftime, but running out of time. So 3rd and 8, under a minute to go. Jamie Newman. And flag here. And a procedure penalty. 46 seconds to go. Clausen over.
Ball start. Offense. Number 73. Since the clock was running, this qualifies for a 10-second runoff.
Oh, still trying to get together on this.
Duke doesn't want the 10-second runoff. 3rd down.
All right, so we'll bring up 3rd down. And 13.
You know, what's interesting here, Duke was coming after Wake. It was going to be an all-out blitz pressure, and I think Wake is going to be fairly content kind of running this clock out.
So from the 24-yard line, 3rd and 13. Final moments of the first half. Newman handing off for Carney. He'll cut back the other way. Another tough run for Cade Carney before Michael Carter got in there and tackled him. That's a pickup of 8.
Timeout. Duke. 3rd and final timeout of the half.
So Duke will take the timeout, 32nd timeout, with 39 seconds to go. And what in many ways has been a fascinating first half, particularly I thought because of the way both teams played given the weather, Tim, with all the rain that stopped about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, we're probably past that where the rain is going to affect the passing game. We saw so much of the run game out of Wake Forest, and it worked. And I think it really continued to hold and suppress this Duke offense. I mean, they've struggled coming into this game. You know, the past few games have been rough for them just getting a first down. It's been no different tonight. And so I look at David Cutcliffe. He's got to find something to spark this offense because, you know, the passing game hasn't worked. And early in the year, they did a nice job switching from option to empty and doing various things to get their offense on track.
So Wake to punt it away here. Maggio on with Hupsick back at the 20-yard line. And Wake with a 13-10 advantage. That's more of a wobbly punt that will bounce out around the 15-yard line. And take a look at his bounce. This one goes for 52 yards.
I thought it initially bounced out of bounds. A little bit of English on that, and it stays in. I mean, it basically reminds me of your golf game, Dave. I mean, I think that's...
And I think you're being very kind.
I mean, I think that just the way that you just have every club and every shot and can, you know, hit those greens, right?
Every club. And use them all. Much to my detriment. Handoff will go to Durant. Durant room to operate on that left side. And picks up a first down on a strong gain of 15.
And sometimes a 2-minute offense situation, can get you going. Playing at a fast tempo, defense playing soft, just to get in the rhythm offensively.
And up again, Durant spun around and dives across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11. So Mateo Durant coming in the final seconds of this first half. And the clock runs out, and that's it for the first half. So we're at the break, and Wake Forest will receive the second half kickoff, and they have a 13-10 lead. The ACC Network halftime report coming up in just a moment. Conditions have dried up and improved. Still a very chilly night here in Winston-Salem. We'll see if the scoring picks up as well in the second half. But Wake in front of the Duke Blue Devils 13-10 in the second half, when the forecast indicated, and it was true, it would be a whole lot drier. So set to play the second half here at BB&T. Kendall Hinton goes into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Katie George moments ago with David Cutcliffe.
David, the rain presented a challenge for both teams in that first half, but now that it's started to subside, what do you need to see from your team in this next half?
Well, we've basically turned the ball over 3 times and haven't gotten one. Counting that fourth down snap circumstances, 3 turnovers. We're down 3 points when you do that. We're also 0 for 6 on third down conversions. You're 3 points down, and I mean, somebody's playing good. Our defense is playing well. We intermittently have been good on offense. Let's play every down. Let's not drop passes. Let's block people. I can't wait to see what's getting ready to happen with Duke football right now.
Best of luck.
Ooh, if his guys were not feeling the chill before, they are now.
I have a feeling he got after them quite a bit in the locker room there at halftime. He's exactly right. They're fortunate to only be down 3 points.
They sure are.
With the way the first half went.
2nd and 3 after 7-yard gain there by Jamie Newman. Try to pick up the first down, takes a hit, and he'll land shy of that. Stopped by Shaka Hayward. And we'll bring up 3rd down for Wake Forest and their multi-talented quarterback. Man down, and that is McSwain. Trayvon McSwain, the young man out of Sewanee, Georgia. The senior and a big guy at 6'6", 285, slow to rise. Just getting started here in the second half. Well, both sides really required to kind of bring their own in terms of energy and adrenaline, because nothing's really going to be provided from the stadium itself. And a tiny turnout tonight. 3rd down and 1. Hinton in motion. Newman will keep it. First down for him as he bounces outside. But picks up a first down.
Really, you look at what happens there. I mean, it's 3rd and 1. The fake fly sweep, and then you get to the perimeter. You talk about, bringing your own energy and juice there. A 3rd and down situation like that. You've defended 40 runs. More competitive for Duke.
He'll go airborne. He's going for a long strike. He's got Hinton. Hinton with the catch. Gets away from a tackler. He is into the end zone. An electrifying play, 62 yards. And we talked about Hinton at the very top of the show, Tim. And what a big target he might be tonight. He certainly was right there.
He needs to be big because they're without Sage Surratt, and he has been big. See, inside working, does a great job getting down the field. And, early down shots, while Duke is trying to commit more defenders to stop the run, it's going to be critical for this Wake offense. Already is right there in the second half.
Career-long reception for Kendall Hinton. Serenord is down. Edgar Serenord, the right tackle for Duke. But Hinton with a huge strike. And Wake has taken a 19-10 lead in the early moments of the second half. And Jamie Newman showing you he can do a lot of everything.
He really can. That's an outstanding throw on a little double move. Perfectly thrown ball. And that's really what we've seen from him all season long. Throws a catchable ball. He's been an outstanding runner tonight. And Kendall Hinton doing what we've seen him do working in the slot.
So Skiba, who has tied an NCAA record for field goals made consecutively, he will nail the point after. One more look at the touchdown.
Well, Wake Forest gets it rolling in the second half. Double move by Kendall Hinton, little stutter, and Jamie Newman delivers a perfect pass as Wake's able to find their way into the end zone.
And Phil Johnson, who's made a tremendous play tonight, trying to make another one, but he has spun around and dropped at the 30-yard line. As we take a look at our New York Life drive recap.
Well, you look at what happens. Duke on early downs is trying to get safeties involved in the run game. Look at how low the safeties are playing, and what Wake Forest is going to do is a little stutter go from the inside, and it's just too hard to defend for Dylan Singleton. Too much ground to cover, and it's a great route by Kendall Hinton to sell the in break, and then a tremendous throw by Jamie Newman. And you're going to see why it's so hard for Singleton to defend. Basically a little crossover as he heads down the field.
Yeah, it's an ankle buster. So Duke trying to find some offensive momentum, and this is a danger zone, I think, Tim, because of the way this season has gone to this point. They've dropped 4 in a row. Now they've fallen behind. It's certainly not getting out of hand. It's only 10 points, but it could in a hurry.
No, and they've had a couple games where offensively they haven't been good at all, and so because of that, you need to have something show you some type of light or hope.
Well, Jackson helping out here. Big gainers. He'll pick up the first down, going right across the middle on a slashing gain of 14. So a first down for Duke. They needed that. Monk is down on a knee. Jacob Monk, right tackle. So an injury timeout, 12:51 to go in the third. And the 305-pound freshman from Clayton, North Carolina, having some difficulty getting up, but finally is, and Jalen Miller will go in for him.
You know, Monk's been a bit of a bright spot for Duke when you think about a true freshman coming in and playing right tackle, and here he is right there, right tackle, and it almost looks like it would almost be like a non-contact situation. You see him following the play there, but ultimately went down.
First down 10. Back to throw Harris. He look at the long strike here. He's got a man and a tremendous effort to try and make the catch, but it's incomplete. That was Phil Johnson again, this time as a wide receiver, but incomplete.
And we saw his speed on the kickoff return. You see the speed there down the field, and he gets past Bassey easily. Quentin Harris, who we're saying is a great deep ball thrower, just overshoots Phil Johnson just a bit.
Phil Johnson, who has run a kickback 97 yards for a touchdown tonight, would have been a sensational catch. Second down and 10. On to keep Harris, stopped at the 50 by Ja'Cory Johns as he picks up 3. So 3rd and 7 coming.
And I would tell you, when you look at the special teams work versus the offense work tonight, they got to get something going. And I would tell you right now, on 3rd and 7 at midfield, I think this is 2-down territory, Dave. A lot of what you were saying in terms of this spot for Duke, got to come away with something.
Got to make something happen. Down by 10 at midfield. Hand off for Jackson. Jackson spinning straight ahead. Nice gain there as he will pick up 10 for a first down. So it's Deion Jackson, who's been their leading rusher, the junior from Atlanta. He's also a pretty good pass catcher. He has 20 receptions and a couple for touchdowns. And Jackson stays in alongside Quentin Harris, who's got them on the move. Throws again short and complete to Young. Reception Young for 2. Duke's turnovers have certainly hurt them. But as Coach Cutcliffe told Katie at halftime, not a ton, not to take them out of the game. Because as you pointed out, Tim, special teams have really picked them up.
Special teams and defense, and now they just need to get the offense moving a little bit.
Harris on a strong carry for a first down. Smenda eventually with the tackle.
And you can see there's a little bit more energy in this Duke offense as they fake to Calhoun on the fly sweep, and here comes Quentin Harris running the football. There's a little bit more tempo in this offense.
Fake throwing and a long one. A tremendous effort there, but incomplete. Noah Gray. Noah Gray, one of the more athletic tight ends that you're going to see at 6'4", 240.
Yeah, he needs to make this play. They set this up earlier when they threw the wide receiver screen, and that ball is right to the left hand of Gray as they faked the wide receiver screen, and then he runs up the sideline. It's a good throw by Quentin Harris.
2nd and 10. Gray has certainly been target number 1 for the Duke Blue Devils. On a handoff, it's Jackson straight ahead. Give him 2 on that gain, stopped by Jaquez Williams. 3rd down and 9 for Duke. It's the 10th play of the drive coming up, trying to get these guys excited. Oh for 6 on 3rd downs. In the first half, all sorts of movement and flags down. Looked like Zach Baker, the left guard.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's such a terrible foul there because what happens is you're 3rd and 9. Last time on 3rd, and long, they ran the football for a first down, probably with the anticipation that maybe we'll go for it on 4th and manageable. But now, 3rd and 14, a known passing situation, and that has not served this offense well.
Harris in the pocket. Not much time, but dumps it off to Gray. And Gray moving ahead to the 25-yard line. A gain of 8 yards on that pass play. So on 4th and 6, unable to move it beyond that point. So A.J. Reed on to attempt a 43-yarder. And again, he's the only ACC kicker this season with 3 or more kicks of 49 yards or more. He has made 1 tonight from 30 yards. And a long kick, and that one is good. So both kickers have been very here in the ACC network. Dave O'Brien alongside Tim Hasselbeck and Katie George. If you're not with us in the first half, it was sloppy, lots of rain. That subsided about midway through the 2nd quarter. Not expected to return, so that's the great news for both of these teams. By the way, Newman has rushed for 101 yards, his second 100-yard rushing game of the season. His career high is 102.
Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Hinton, by the way, with 113 receiving yards. We take a look at tonight's player spotlight, brought to you by Geico.
Yeah, we'll go with Justin Herron, the left tackle, 49th career start. And you think about, this program, it's a redshirt developmental program. That's a lot of starts, and Dave Clawson feels like he gets the most out of a player when he gets him to his 5th year. He has that in Justin Herron. You don't have a year like Jamie Newman is having without a good player at left tackle, and Wake certainly has that.
Firing over the middle, incomplete. He wanted Hinton crossing over the center, but incomplete.
You see the senior, got a send-off here at Wake senior night, and going out to Dave Clawson, and pretty special for anyone to go through that. And I certainly remember my last game as a 5th-year guy, and it was cool to see that even in the rain here at Wake Forest.
Yeah, it was coming down pretty good at that time. Pass zip to Freudenthal, the tight end. And a lot of pushing and shoving after the play ends. A 7-yard pickup. Freudenthal, the senior from Richmond, Virginia. 6'3", 235. 3rd down, 3 for Wake Forest. Newman looking to throw again. Time throws that one complete for a first down. Freudenthal again, this time 9 yards on the catch.
Really good job by Freudenthal of contacting the defender. Here he is out here. He's going to kind of use his leverage and then snap inside. And then Newman does a good job of leading the ball, leading him away from the defender. And then Freudenthal, good job extending his arms to go get the ball.
Walker looking to get the edge outside, forced out of bounds. Walker had some really nifty carries in the first half. Leonard Johnson pushing him out, but that gains 8. And Tim, they're working quickly.
And their tempo, continues to get fit to this Duke defense.
Walker surveying as he was running to the right. Tangelo with a tackle. Gain of 4 yards and another first down.
His Wake run game gives you the feel sometimes of Le'Veon Bell, kind of just hopping to the line of scrimmage, whether it's Newman or a back. There's great patience, and I think it's also a testament to the offensive line.
He'll keep it, he'll throw it, he has a man, but it's overthrown, intended for Claude. The pass too long by Jamie Newman.
And this is one that Jamie Newman is going to want back. That long mesh point gets the Duke defense to totally commit. Stephen Claude doesn't have anyone within 7 yards of him, and Jamie Newman, who's been so accurate all season long, can't believe it. It just misses him there. You know, they say sometimes it's the guy that's so wide open that's the hardest completion, and that was evidence of that.
His 23 touchdown passes this season, 2nd down and 10. And again, that unusual look and trying to break free. It's Walker. Walker to the outside again before he's dragged down after a big first down gain there, but a flag down.
Holding, offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Left tackle, you were just talking about Herron there.
It's typically how this goes. You give some offensive linemen a little bit of love, then immediately just starts to get his hands on him. And the shame of it, and I'm not sure that is a hold, to be honest with you. In fact, I'll just say it, that is not a hold. The worst part about it is they're running the ball to the right. He's backside. And that is a big break.
And a rare penalty, of course, for Wake Forest. They hardly ever get penalized. That erases a 20-yard gain. So 2nd down and 20. Carney in at the back. Newman will throw this one toward the sideline and broke it up. He wanted Hinton, but stopped by Michael Carter, the safety.
Good coverage by Carter, who I think Duke feels like is a pretty good matchup in the slot on Kendall Hinton. And considering that Hinton ran that little double move for a score earlier, pretty good job by Carter, just kind of trusting what he's seeing and being so tight to Hinton.
Of course, Wake Forest without their 2 top receivers. Scotty Washington, who has an ankle in the boot right now. And Sage Surratt, who is out for the season with a shoulder injury. That pocket breaking down a bit. He has nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and he is taken down. DeMukage will get credit for that sack.
Yeah, and it's DeMukage coming from the other side now. Here he comes on Herron. It was on Benziger earlier in the game, but as Newman holds on to this football, he's kind of able to run the hoop a little bit, and then look at him, down on the ground, get back up, continue to pursue to the quarterback. DeMukage having a really, really good night.
His 3rd sack. So Don Maggio into punt. And he will get this one away. And a fair catch. And an outstanding punt there. As that bounces out at the 3-yard line. Don Maggio, who's been tremendous the last couple of weeks in particular, helping out with
on ESPN Plus.
A big punt going out at the 3-yard line, so pinning Duke back. And going to run it on the first carry. Here's Durant to give him some more room. Now let's see if Duke Blue Devils can do something offensively because they're hanging in this thing.
They are, and it seemed like they got into a rhythm on that last drive, Dave, and sometimes just get that first down, and then your offense can get into some type of tempo.
2nd down 5 for Harris. Here's Durant. Stayed up on his feet for a couple of more hard yards after the first hit. So 1st down, Smenda with the tackle. That gains 9.
That's what I mean a little bit. Get that 1st down, and here they go. Tempo already at the line of scrimmage, moving with some pace and some rhythm.
Fake to Durant. He'll keep it. Harris right up the gut. Another 1st down. Quentin Harris showing off his legs.
You see what happens here is basically the pump to the wide screen. That widens the linebackers in just 5-on-4 up front with the offensive line and then the defensive line. And that's why Harris is able to find such a big hole, pick up a nice run.
17. 1st and 10, Duke on the move. Harris to put it in the air, throwing down the center, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Taylor. Jasir Taylor, intended for Aaron Young, but picked off by Wake Forest. Now it's the 11th interception that Quentin Harris has thrown this season.
And Harris has Young. I mean, he absolutely has him. As you're going to see what happens, he's going to come from the left side of your screen. As the safety is low, Harris has the ability to lead him across the field, and he just doesn't do that enough, throws him too far down the field. You also get a sense of probably the lack of speed out of Aaron Young to be able to run underneath it, but probably more of an opportunity to drive that football more and put it right on Aaron Young.
Taylor with his first career interception. And a bounce outside here by Walker. Walker to the sideline, gets to the 50-yard line before he is shoved out of bounds.
You hear people talk about their run fits. Well, look at everybody get bottled up here. As Walker is in tight, Singleton basically just gets lost. And so now all of a sudden the run fits are all distorted, and that allows Walker to get out to the perimeter and pick up a nice gain.
Walker with another carry, trying the other side. They string him out. He stays up and dives ahead. Looked like that was going absolutely nowhere. Waters gets credit for the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 8. I'll tell you what, Kenneth Walker, the freshman from Arlington, Tennessee, has had a really good game and some serious gains on the ground. 2nd down and 8. And flags down.
False start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Javonte Nash with a penalty.
You see this run here and the patience by Kenneth Walker, and part of what happens with this long mesh is it's hard for defensive linemen to decipher run or pass. And so they get kind of just bodied up by the offensive line of Wake Forest, and then Walker does a nice job of staying alive, distorted run fits, and get outside, and you're able to pick up a nice gain.
2nd and 13. Newman keeping. He has done that for some big gains tonight. Stop on that play after a pickup of 4. As Wake tries to add to that 20-13 lead. Neither side has really been able to take command of the game offensively yet. 3rd and 9. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. In the pocket to throw, and a short one. That's complete to Jones. Jones to the 30-yard line before he is pushed back by Michael Carter. And a 14-yard gain.
And you see Dave Clawson has done a tremendous job, as has Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator for Wake Forest. This is an offense we're used to seeing throwing jump ball fades outside the numbers in passing situations. Instead, they're throwing shallow crosses, getting guys on the move. It's a nice play call and a nice pickup.
For a 1st down. No room there for Newman to negotiate as Rumpf is there to meet him. Chris Rumpf, a sophomore out of Gainesville, Florida. He's had a really fine season. 3 sacks for him. 6'3", 225. So loss to 1 brings up 2nd down and 11. Newman hands it to Walker. Bounces away from one tackler. To the sideline. Straight ahead and out he goes. So 3rd down. Time running out in the 3rd quarter. In a tight one here in Winston-Salem. Wake Forest with an opportunity to be the Big 4 champs, already with wins here in the state of North Carolina over the North Carolina Tar Heels and the NC State Wolfpack. Now trying to knock off the rival Duke Blue Devils. The pass batted away. Devon McSwain, the man to deflect it.
It's a pretty good effort. Nice job by McSwain of getting his hands up here. He's kind of just able to run Gilliam back to the quarterback, Newman. It's a pretty good stop there by that Duke defense to come up with a stand, get off the field on 3rd down, hold Wake to a field goal attempt because give up a couple big plays in the run game, but able to tighten up once they got near the red zone.
So here's Skibo, who has already tied the NCAA record of 30 in a row of 2 tonight. This from 44 yards, and that kick is good, and he's got the record at 31 consecutive makes for the sophomore Nick Skiba. He's been a star tonight. Wake up by 10.
Impressive what he has done, and I mean, just been so true for this team. And I think if it was possible for the Chicago Bears to draft him right now, they should do it.
Right. They're not the only NFL team.
No, they are not.
He has put Wake in front 23-13. Kicking off here to Phil Johnson. They've tried to stay away from him ever since his 97-yard run back. A tough run here out to the 35-yard line. As we are just about at the last minute of the 3rd. 23-yard return. He's had a really fine night. And a man down here for Wake. With 1:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wake Forest trying to win their 8th game of the season. And trying to do it without 3 or 4 of their best players. A.T. Perry is down.
And here he is, Perry right here, and he is involved in a huge collision as he kind of turns to avoid and, you know, kind of staggers, you know, when he gets up there and almost, you know, heads back down. And, you know, a lot of discussion about kickoffs and the safety of kickoffs and collisions like that, to be honest with you, that are it.
With Javon Jackson on that play.
Yeah, that's the reason why, you know, that play is, you know, under a microscope right now in the game of football is collisions like that. And you know, it's good to see him, you know, up talking to everybody.
So Perry on his feet. And will leave the field here, but good to see under his own power. And Wake Forest hoping to be celebrating a trip to the Orange Bowl. They're certainly in the running. Trying to run out the rest of the schedule and go 9-3. They will finish the regular season at Syracuse. Duke taking over the football here. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Last time on the last drive, Harris tossed an interception. Complete pass here to Noah Gray for a 1st down. Let's go down to Katie George.
Well, guys, David Cutcliffe refuses to use the word frustrated when talking to his team. He says when you study the word frustration, it basically means you've reached a point where there's no answer. Cutcliffe says in football there's always an answer. His team can be disappointed, angry, upset, or discouraged, but he will not allow them to use that word in the locker room. He says there is a definitive answer to their recent problems. Limit the turnovers, which we haven't seen tonight, and play with more heart and desire.
Harding breaks away, makes a lot more out of that pass play than it looked initially. Daryl Harding with a big pickup of 23.
Dave, you're exactly right. It didn't look like it was going to be a big play initially. I think because he was going to the wrong place with the football. Should have been throwing the deeper in cut to Calhoun. Instead goes to Harding, but that missed tackle would have led to a big play.
On the run, Jackson trying that right side. Stopped by Trey Rucker. And a gain of 3. Final seconds of the third quarter. And Duke on the move here. And we are set for the fourth quarter. With Wake Forest up, ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. A couple of those dudes still shirtless. As we go deeper into the night and colder it gets, they could care less. Wake Forest with a 23-13 lead.
I'm hoping there was a bet there.
Harris to throw. He's got an open man. He's got his tight end. Noah Gray will march into the end zone. 23-yard strike. And Duke not going away tonight.
It's a good job here. Watch Noah Gray. He's just kind of look like he's bluffing to block. And because of the play action, Wake just fills and basically get out of position as Trey Rucker thinks he's coming in to support the run, but he needs to be in coverage on Noah Gray, and that's how he's so wide open.
Rucker, a freshman, and they lit him up there to make it 23-19. Reed for the extra point. With 14:55 to go. First play of the fourth quarter, and money for the Duke Blue Devils. And they are within 3. Gray a big target as he catches another touchdown pass.
Yeah, Gray's probably their best offensive player, and he does really everything for Duke offensively. He does a good job blocking in the run game, and then here they slip him out on the hard play action. And Trey Rucker, who has been a kind of a bright spot, nice find for Wake Forest defensively. The true freshman playing more, starting now. He just gets fooled. And so I think David Cutcliffe and his staff, nice job there, coming out of a break, dialing up a play action shot and taking advantage of an overly aggressive freshman free safety.
And as short-handed as they get, Gray has not dropped a pass all season long. So Harris's second half, 6 out of 9, 86 yards, picking up, rushing better too, 32 yards on the ground.
Well, David Cutcliffe told us at halftime, he said, wait till you're about to see what you're going to see from Duke football, basically, right? These guys got ripped at halftime, most likely, and the quarterbacks responded, the defenses responded, and I think David Cutcliffe has a pretty good pulse of his football team, knowing that he's going to get better effort in the second half.
And I think you're absolutely right. I'll bet those walls were caving in. Hinton ahead to the 30-yard line. This was Coach Cutcliffe at halftime.
Conversions. You're 3 points down, and I mean somebody's playing good. Our defense is playing well. We intermittently have been good on offense. Let's play every down. Let's not drop passes. Let's block people. I can't wait to see what's getting ready to happen with Duke football right now.
Best of luck.
Now my bet is the volume might have been a little higher in the locker room, but the same message was delivered. It sounds like they got it. On the carry, Newman trying to gain straight ahead yards. He's stopped by Leonard Johnson. He will pick up 4 on that carry.
And the feel of the momentum in this game has changed quite a bit with Duke getting something going, and that this defensive sequence for Duke could really, really flip momentum.
Newman on the pump fake, trying to get free now. Now pitches it back here for Carney. And Carney straight on, takes a pretty good knock there from Kwanzaa, who's had a great night.
I mean, this is backyard football at its best. Watch Carney come over on the block here. And he basically, after he whiffs, but saves his quarterback and then rallies, as Newman's trying to escape, he then flips it back to Carney. And then Carney takes another hit carrying the football.
3rd down 6. He fires it over the middle, and a complete pass across the 40-yard line to Claude for a first down and a gain of 7 yards.
And that is a great catch, but it's also a great throw. When you put it into the body of a receiver, don't make him reach outside his frame. It is so hard for the defender to make a play on the football. That's really why that ball was completed.
Look at Carney way off there on the edge of your screen, far left, the running back. Newman taking the snap. Thrown over the middle again. Hinton with a catch. And Hinton a first down. Kendall Hinton 19 yards on that play. And he has shown up big time. They've desperately needed that because of the serious injuries to the wideouts.
I mean, look at the numbers. They're Surratt-type numbers. And Wake's moved him around to get him involved in the passing game any way they can.
And off to Cade Carney, the senior, who has rushed for over 2,200 yards in his career. Fine career, very tough runner. Gaining 2 on that carry. And Kwanzaa again a little shaken up, but quickly on his feet and trying to put a very damaging drive together here. Jamie Newman, the junior quarterback, to keep this. Slicing through, he picks up a first, looking for more than that, still on his feet. On, well, yes, a determined run, to put it mildly, and he picks up 25 yards.
It is a determined run. Look at him and his ability to break tackles here. I mean, those are linebackers, safeties, corners, trying to get Jamie Newman down, just running through contact. What a big run.
191 passing yards, 130 on the ground. And that a career high for Newman. Walker looking for room to the outside. Tied up by Gagnon. That picks up 2. Now Newman with a star turn tonight. And again with all the injuries, another man down. Serenord is injured. A 305-pound senior shaken up, apparently. Now let's talk a little Jamie Newman now and his timeline and how he got here. 3-star recruit at Graham High, just 50 miles from Winston-Salem. 2015 Elite 11 camp, along with Jalen Hurts and Dwayne Haskins. And as a starter, he's trying to go to 10-4 in his career at Wake Forest.
He was a really raw player coming out of high school, but he was also a tremendous basketball player. And you know, I think Dave Clawson realizes that, you know, with this being a developmental program, the ability to coach a guy up, a guy that hasn't been, you know, kind of on the quarterback camp circuit as a youth, you know, gets to coach him up. And he's turned Jamie Newman into a tremendous passer. And then we've seen what he can do as a runner. I feel like he's a perfect fit for this offense, this unique offense that they run here at Wake, because he's such a good runner and because he's a more than adequate passer.
And it really is a unique offense. We touched on it early in the game that, you know, nobody else in the country is copying it yet. They may well, particularly if they have a quarterback like this.
I would agree with you, Dave, because it helps your offensive line and it helps create one-on-one matchups outside for your receivers.
Can really wreak havoc too on the defense. 2nd down and 9. And it's Newman bouncing off a couple of tackles ahead of the 5-yard line.
But this is exactly why you need a quarterback like Jamie Newman. You know, it's that long mesh point, and then it's a quarterback follow.
Another man is down. Dylan Singleton is down for Duke. They've had a lot of those on this drive. It's made the drive feel a whole lot longer. But he's shaken up, the senior.
It's also created some boos from the fans here. And, you know, there's always a question when you're playing a team that runs tempo and you have a defense that gets hurt. And I think, you know, part of it has been, you know, we've seen Kwanzaa go off and immediately come back on. You've seen, you know, Serenord has gone off twice. Certainly not accusing, you know, Duke of faking injuries, but that is the feel sometimes. And then to have guys in and out of the lineup, I think is why the boos have come in.
And 3rd down coming up, 11 minutes to play in a tight one. In Wake Forest trying to win the Big 4 championship and go 3-0 for the first time in 12 years against the other Carolina schools.
Previous play.
Well, the previous play under further review. There's a moment there where Duke was acting like they had the football.
You're exactly right, Dave. I think they felt like Jamie Newman maybe lost the football before he was down to the ground. And
5-yard line. No fumble on this play. He was down. Duke was behaving as if Newman had lost it, but he was down. And clearly has control. Wake Forest has only lost 2 fumbles all season. Into the Wildcat here. Back for Carney. Nothing doing for him. He is stacked up.
Here's what I would say. Jamie Newman's been running the football extremely well. I'm not sure why you would go to that in that situation. You know, the element of pass is there when Jamie Newman is in the backfield as the quarterback. He's run the ball as physically as Cade Carney has tonight. And not a shot at Cade Carney. It's just that's how good Jamie Newman's been.
Nick Skiba, who's already set an NCAA record with 31 consecutive 8-field goals. On for another one. This one from 25 yards. To try and put Wake in front by 6 points here.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, on a senior night, the rain and the cold could not stop all the smiles for head coach Dave Clawson and his seniors. Been a very successful class. 4 straight winning seasons. First class since 1948 to do that. And first class with 3 bowl wins. Thinking about an Orange Bowl.
Just goes to show you the job that he's done recruiting, the job that he's done developing and coaching these players to have that kind of success.
Philyaw Johnson starts from inside the 5-yard line. Scampering through a big hole. He cuts back inside. Is he going to do it again? He's off to the races once again. This time, 98 yards. For the second time tonight, he has stunned BB&T Field with a huge return on the kickoff. Goodness gracious.
Unbelievable job by Philyaw Johnson and this return team. They've found ways to get him to field the ball, and this is much like the Louisville game where, you know, 2 returns basically with a difference in the football game, and it has given so much life to this Duke football team.
97 yards the first one in the first half. 98 yards here in the fourth quarter. Wow. First Duke player with 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown in a game. So history made tonight for Damon Philyaw Johnson. And the extra point, that is good. And Duke jumps into the lead 27-26.
Damon Philyaw Johnson doing his best Devin Hester tonight. Are you kidding me? First one stays front side, gets great blocking, and then just uses his speed. And the second one, a little more creativity. This one from 98. Good job of weaving through there and then breaking it back across the field. And again, trusting that speed. Record-setting night for Damon Philyaw Johnson. And how about the move? Basically saying, no, kicker is not going to get me down. Zach Murphy, no shot in space.
The big guy is just a little excited. Philyaw Johnson, sensational twice tonight.
And by the way, back out on the kickoff tape.
He'll cover someone. He'll stop that guy.
That's the way. Give him a break. There he goes. You deserve a break.
Boy. Well, you see it once, and it's impressive. You see it twice, it blows you away.
We saw it once. Dave Clawson said, I'm done seeing it. They started to sky kick it away from him.
Right.
And then Duke started to rotate their returners, and then they kick to him again, and he makes them pay.
Duke special teams deadly in this one. Hinton back. And they will bring it out down by 1 point. About 9.5 minutes to go. Now it is up to Jamie Newman to respond. He's been doing that all night long, but now in the fourth quarter at home, trailing by a point. And we'll start this drive at the 25-yard line.
And Wake has been so patient with the run game all night long. And 55 rush attempts on the night so far. And with all this time, there's no reason to get away from that if you're Wake Forest.
Newman scampering to the left. And he will be stopped on that play by McSwain after a pickup of 4 yards. Well, Newman has done it with the legs and the arm. ACC leader in total offense per game. Also, by the way, second in the ACC in passing yards. He has thrown for 191 so far this evening. He'll throw again. Nice catch by Hinton. Hinton breaks it. He's across the 40. Down to the 20-yard line. And out of bounds as he is shoved out by Blackwell to prevent a touchdown. But a huge gain.
Duke playing man coverage, and you basically have this little underneath route through traffic to get him free, and it's the throw by Jamie Newman, right a foot out in front to allow Hinton to keep his speed up, which allows for the big play.
58 yards. First and 10 on the carry. Walker across the 5. He's still up into the end zone for a touchdown. 14-yard touchdown run for Kenneth Walker. And what an answer by Wake Forest.
A quick answer, a tremendous response as you lose the lead. Relying on your quarterback who's been outstanding, your fifth-year wide receiver who's been outstanding, and your true freshman running back who seems to be running at a different speed than everybody else.
They're going to go for 2 here, 32-27. 2-point conversion attempt here for Wake Forest, 8:24 to go. Carney there alongside Newman. And blown dead, a flag down. Microphone not functioning. But a delay.
Saw Dave Clawson yelling there. He's saying left goalpost. So on a 2-point play, you get to tell the officials where you want the football. And so rather than it being spotted in the middle, he wanted it left center, even with the goalpost. I'm not sure they spotted it there.
So look at that 2-point conversion, backed up after the delay of game. Newman for the end zone, throws, and it's batted down, incomplete. Broken up by Shaka Hayward. But there is a flag down. Flag dropped in the end zone. Looks like a personal foul with this flag. Here's the call. Yep, personal foul here against the Duke Blue Devils. So here's the late hit. And it was after the conversion failed.
Yeah, and Neal just misses him, and Hinton ends up being wide open here. He's running to the corner, and Jamie Newman just misses him. He's got inside leverage, outbreaking route. That ball's thrown towards the pylon. There's a lot of traffic inside, but you go back to the touchdown. Jamie Newman's going to hand this football off, but then look at him shield the defensive end coming up the field there. Yeah, right there. It's a little bit like a block. And then Kenneth Walker, and what can you say about the job that he's done tonight? I mean, the amount of times he's run through tackles has really been outstanding in the run game between Jamie Newman and Kenneth Walker. It's been great.
Walker with over 100 yards, over 130 yards for Jamie Newman tonight. They do not connect on a two-point conversion, leading at 32-27.
And Dave, that penalty is such a huge penalty because now one of the probably the biggest issue for Wake tonight has been kicking off. Well, now you're kicking from the 50-yard line. You have the ability to kick it through the end zone and prevent Philya Johnson from running his third one back.
Yeah, that would be wise to make sure he does not touch it the rest of the night. Zach Murphy on the kick. And from the 50. 8 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Now the penalty tacked on. Launches that one from the 50. And we brought out here for Duke. We'll see if the Duke Blue Devils can continue what they've done all night. The ability to hang in there, stay close.
Mike check.
Devin Philya Johnson, 251 yards. The Duke offense, 261.
Well, and you know what's crazy is they had Philya Johnson on a go route that Quentin Harris just missed. Yeah, he's been the difference in this football game for Duke. He's helped them stay in it. You talked about their fight, and we've seen that from Duke this year. You know, they don't go away quietly.
And for Jackson, up ahead to the 30. Deion Jackson to carry, and a tackle by Williams after a pickup of 5 yards. So we're starting to get down to crunch time here at BB&T Field in Winston-Salem. Duke fighting Calhoun in motion. Calhoun will get it. They're going to lose on this play. Kobe Davis tying him up.
It was a great play by Kobe Davis. Duke's trying to get to the perimeter, and basically Davis is the guy that sets the edge. And as Calhoun tries to bounce it, there's just too much pursuit.
Gave him 1 yard, third down and 4. From the 30. Harris from the gun. With a short toss, broken up, intended for Gray. And a good stop by Nasir Greer. Greer, talented sophomore, has 1 pick this season. A strong safety.
And Nasir Greer just sitting on the route. Basically no fear of Noah Gray trying to run past him. And, you know, because of that, you know, he's able to make a good break on the football and get his hand in there.
Austin Parker back to punt for the Duke Blue Devils. Kendall Hinton standing at the 30. And another long one here. Parker's had another good night from the 20. Takes a hit. And down he goes. We talked a lot about this unique offense at Wake Forest tonight.
Yeah, it's about the mesh point, and did a demo on it to break it down, and it's
one of the most
really
unique offenses in all of college football is Wake Forest, that long ride read with a running back. Couple things it helps them do. It helps neutralize the defensive line. If they're better than you on the defensive line, it makes it difficult for them to read. Is it run or is it pass? Ball snapped. Here he comes. Pull it in. A lot of times the quarterback is throwing the ball within a yard of the line of scrimmage, but it's neutralized the defensive linemen, and then they get the ball out into space to one of their talented receivers.
Oh, you're darn right. That was interesting. It's a fascinating offensive look, and no one else does it. Doesn't gain them anything here, that's for sure, but you wonder if other teams around, other programs around the country are going to pick up and run it.
I mean, these guys have a chance to win 9 games this year, you know, and I think that you can make the argument that oftentimes they beat teams that they were overmatched by physically, but their scheme has helped them.
Second down, 11, and incomplete. Over the head of the tumbling Kenneth Walker.
And if Walker can keep his feet there, it's probably a big pickup. There's a bust by Duke defensively. There's no one with Walker in the flat, and as he stumbles, can't make a play on the ball. And now kind of a dangerous territory here for Wake Forest in 3rd and long.
And only with a 5-point lead. 3rd and 11. Newman with pressure on him, gets it away. He fires downfield, and a tremendous catch made by Green. A flag is down on the play, but a one-handed grab by the freshman. That gains 36 yards, but a flag down.
Offside, defense number 51. Penalties decline, results of the play, 1st down.
Basically, it's an offsides. You jump up front. It's a free play, and you see Green just get up the field. You see the quickness on his release, and we talked about Green as a guy that this Wake Forest staff was really excited about, the physical skills, needing him to step up in the absence of Sage Surratt and Scotty Washington. And boy, does he do it in the big moment. 3rd and 11 in crunch time.
One-handed, tremendous catch. So 1st and 10 in Duke territory. Newman with the carry and stopped by Hayward.
We mentioned it earlier, he was a 4-star recruit, 39-inch vertical. Felt like they beat some good schools to get to him. Notre Dame, one of those schools. And, I think that guys have seen playing here at Wake Forest with the style of this offense, as we kind of pay that forward a little bit, that you're going to get opportunities outside, and Green showing up in a big way.
And off for, Newman will keep it. He's going to stay up and stop by Kobe Kwanzaa. But not a lot of room there, 1-yard gain. And Newman is not able to get up. 5:38 remaining. Oh, and he is banging on the turf here with that right hand. He is frustrated. Now, earlier in the season, he took a very serious knock on his shoulder. He's able to come back from that. And trying to lunge away and injured on the play. We'll see how badly when we come back. And now Hinton is there. Hinton, who was once a quarterback, he will keep it and try and run with it. And gets a pretty good gain there, diving to the right. Stopped by Michael Carter. And that gains 6. That's going to be awfully close.
It was a great run by Hinton, and it was important for people to realize, Wake Forest trying to preserve a redshirt year for Sam Harden, and the backup quarterback who's already played in 4. They did say in a critical moment he would go and play, but if it was for just 1 snap, you would hate to lose a guy for that. And so I think it's a nice job by Dave Clawson, who cares about redshirting his guys, getting the best out of players. And so they put the former quarterback, the 5th-year wide receiver in, and what a great run. I mean, does a good job of splitting it, gives you 4th and 1, and now you have a chance.
Well, there was so much going on there as Carter walks off, and more boos being rained down by the Wake Forest faithful, because there's been a lot of injuries, a lot of guys down for a play or two for Duke. And Newman going back in there, clearly hobbled, obviously a leg injury, but going back out there. And so much of this designed to save Sam Hartman and his red shirt. 4th down and 1. Carney, the running back, coming up on 5 minutes to play here in a close one. Claude in motion. Hand off for Carney. Carney busts ahead. 1st down and then some. Well, the senior with the single most important carry of the night. He picks up 11.
Yeah, and you're going to see Stephen Claude, the wide receiver, number 5, at the left side of your screen, just does a great job of washing it all down. And then Carney running hard, but with his eyes up, and then just runs through the tackle of Leonard Johnson.
1st and 10. When they need the toughest yards, it goes to number 36. It goes to Cade Carney. 43 yards tonight. This is the 88th snap, by the way, coming up.
Incredible the way they've run the football. And made Duke defend all of these runs.
Carney straight on for the gain. He'll collect 5. Into the red zone, coming up on 4 minutes to play. Carney 8th all-time in rushing yards at Wake Forest, over 2,300 yards now.
Dave, you said it, when they need the hard yards. I mean, basically 4-minute offense now, and it's Carney who is very good at protecting the football. He runs hard, gets the tough yards. He's a smart player. And the guy you're going to trust is your senior running back on senior night.
Wake, a team that almost never fumbles the football. There's a hole on the left side. He'll bounce, trying for the end zone. He dives. And did he get in? Yes, he's in for the touchdown. And it's Carney again, this time from 18 yards out.
And you see Carney does a good job of getting to the pylon. You get nervous when guys reach that football out there, but looks like he has control of it, stays in bounds. That's a Demon Deacon touchdown.
Boy, a couple of huge runs for him on that drive. And diving for the pylon.
The ruling of the previous play of a touchdown is under further review.
Cade Carney getting the call and answering the call and giving his own signal.
And he should give his own signal because he had the best view of it as he's diving to that pylon.
Senior from Advanced North Carolina. Diving for the end zone. Wake Forest with a 38-27 lead. They're still taking a look at it.
And that right hand looks like it's still in bounds. When he puts that right hand on the ground, kind of extend into the end zone. And knee stays off that right hand. That thumb looks like it might be on the line.
Yeah.
You're going to see where that football is when that hand contacts the ground. So the hand contacts the ground there.
On one angle we looked at, Tim, yeah, it looked like maybe that hand.
Just shy, Dave.
Yeah.
Like the hand hits the ground, and it looks like his thumb is on the white.
Is it conclusive enough?
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yes. Touchdown. I just don't think it's conclusive.
I would agree with you that, you know, when that hand is down, where is that football? And it's awfully close to breaking the plane at that point.
A giant play, obviously 3:27 to go. Wake Forest with a 38-27 lead. And Skiba on for the point after. Now Duke has been battling back all night. They'll have to try and do it again against a Wake Forest team bearing down on the 8th win of the season. And a Big Four championship. Cade Carney on senior night. I don't think this begins to tell the story of how valuable his yards have been.
You're exactly right. In the most critical moment, 17 rushes. What sticks out is that they've run it, I think, over 63 times tonight. So you see 17 carries. Jamie Newman's had a bunch of carries. And you just look, you can tell the look at Dave Clawson's face in that embrace there. Probably how much fun Cade Carney, you know, has been to coach for Dave Clawson. And he's been reliable, he's been competitive, and he sets a great tone for this program.
And flying high tonight, the captain. And a love affair with Cade Carney here at Winston-Salem. And at Wake Forest, he's put them up 39-27. This has been a battle. These guys
have been a battle. It's been a battle to stay outside like that.
Battle to convince them to maybe put their shirts on, which has been a losing fight all night long. A big smile there from Cade Carney, 39-27. And Skiba, who has set an NCAA record tonight with 31 consecutive field goals. With a short kick, You know who they want to stay away from? Phil Johnson, who's been sensational tonight with 2 returns, kickoff returns for touchdowns. That is a Duke record for a single game. 97 and then 98 yards.
And it's smart coaching by Dave Clawson to basically say, look, I'll give you the ball at the 30-yard line. I'm not going to deal with, giving up another return, and certainly a sign of respect for what Phil Johnson has done tonight.
Quentin Harris now. And looking to throw, has time to do it. Fires over the middle, and that one complete to Jake Bobo. Bobo, big receiver at 6'4", 12-yard pickup. Harris trying to move him quickly. Quick toss and taken down by Red Mateo Durant. As he's going to gain just 1 yard on that play, and it is under 3 minutes to play.
If you're Wake Forest, you just can't let the ball get over your head. With it being a 2-score game, play soft, keep everything in front of you. The clock is your friend at this point.
Right, Harris really drilled it in there once again to the short-handed Noah Gray. 5 yards on that gain. Blue Devils moving fast. Harris again, pressure on him as he is taken out, lost the football. They're going to get it back. Forced fumble by Basham. That play will lose 2 after the recovery by the Blue Devils.
And Basham's the guy who really projects to be a good player at the next level. He's also the guy that seems to do a good job of showing up in critical moments when you need to close out a game.
A call tonight here on 4th down and 6. And scooting up the middle to pick up the first down is Harris. Harris stopped by Smenda, but a gain of 15 yards.
Always dangerous to take off and run in those situations. When you got to have it, you need to be able to run for the first. Quentin Harris does a good job of seeing it, trusting it, and taking off.
Well, he's got them on the move here. First down, throwing again as he steps up. Now he's flushed out, tied up, and down he goes. Sacked on the play by Tyler Williams.
And if you're Duke, after the sack, I'd probably use a timeout as your receivers are running back.
Yeah, the good 3
down the field.
Second down and 12. They won't use one. Here's the long throw. And on the second effort, it is going to be incomplete. Broken up by Bassie.
Bobo's got a real good shot to come down with this. The big 6'4" receiver kind of has a second effort to try to come down with it. If Harris throws that out there a little bit more, I think he's got a chance to run underneath it.
3rd and 12. Quentin Harris out of the gun, looking to throw again. Here they come. He'll air it out, incomplete. And he was looking for was Noah Gray, but incomplete. So another 4th down with 1:13 to play.
And then 4th and 12, it's hard to protect long enough for you guys to all run past the yard markers to get deep enough for the ball. My advice would be to move the pocket, maybe away from Basham, maybe a back towards him. Something to allow you guys to get down the field and work so you can get a big chunk play.
Harris last time ran it on 4th down. He's going to run again to his right. He's taken down on the play. Stopped by Williams. On the defensive play of the ball game, Jaquez Williams with the stop.
It's a little bit what I mean, just holding on to the football to let guys get down the field, and Williams is just coming and just does a good job of wrapping around. So much pursuit. Basically, he's covering Durant, who's in pass protection, so he adds on, and he adds on quick enough to track down Harris from behind. Good effort by the junior linebacker playing his speed.
And the 5th sack of the night for Wake Forest, the biggest one certainly. And Bobo thinking about that catch he did not make. And an opportunity on the second effort to haul it in, couldn't do it. And Carney With the handoff, he is stacked up, stopped by Josh Blackwell. With the clock running inside a minute to go. Wake Forest looking to celebrate a Big Four championship, which will be their first since '07, having already defeated North Carolina and NC State. Coach Cutcliffe taking off the headset. And second down and 5, running clock. And down to a half minute. And sad faces for the Duke Blue Devil fans in attendance here tonight. It'll be their 5th consecutive defeat. The Demon Deacons going the other way. Carney dancing a little bit. Down he goes. On a tackle by Tangelo, but Wake Forest can begin the celebration. Their first Big Four title since '07, going 3-0 against North Carolina schools this season. That is just part of the narrative as they win tonight, knocking off Duke 39-27. Now 8-3, 4-3 inside the conference. They've got Syracuse coming up next week. That's a very winnable game, obviously, for Wake Forest. Hoping to go to 9-3.